Natasha Denona Lila palette, and this is just such a beautiful palette. I purchased it and have used it about 4 or 5 times now, and when you look at the palette, it just got this like shimmery, beautiful faux leather exterior, and then when you open it up, it does have, ooh, I haven't taken this off yet. Let's do it. Okay, maybe not. It has this like clear thing on the mirror. Oh, here we go. You ready? Yes. So it does have a mirror in there, but then it also has this little clear thing with the labels of the names of the shadows on there, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it does have a perforated little strip right here, so that way you could rip it off if you wanted to. But this is what the palette looks like when you open it up. I mean, this is not the kind of palette that I'm usually drawn to, but it is so beautiful, and that's why I was drawn to it. I mean, you can just tell, even from looking at it, you can just tell that the shimmery shadows are very buttery and pigmented and really intense. And so I love it. Spoiler alert, I really think that this is a great palette. I know that they're very expensive, and I know that the price is kind of outrageous, but I had never tried a Natasha Denona palette before, and so I was just ready to give it a try and see how it goes, and I'm glad that I did. So now I'm gonna just swatch the shades for you here in the end, but I'm also going to do a little look with it. And I am not a makeup artist. I've never claimed to be a makeup artist. I don't even claim to be particularly great at makeup, but I do like playing with it. And so I don't know, I just figured we would do a little look-see on my eyes using this palette today. So I think I'm going to do a more warm look. I did a cool look in my last video. It was a haul, and so if you want to see what kind of cool look I came up with, just go ahead and check that out. For that look, I used this color right here. I used this one on the lid. I used this one mixed with this one on the outer edge, and then just kind of blended it out with, I think, a little bit of this one in my crease. So that's kind of like the more cool look that I came up with. But today I think I'm going to do something a little bit more warm. We'll see. We'll play with it a little bit. So yeah, I just thought that I would do that and chat with you guys. Usually I would not do my face first because I do have a little bit of fallout when I use this palette, but I'm filming another video right now, so I'm just gonna have to go with it. I've already primed my eyes. I just put a little bit of Shape Tape and blended it out with a beauty blender, and then used a translucent powder on my eyelids to set that. And so I'm gonna first go in with a little bit of this shade here. This one's not particularly warm. In fact, it's more cool, but I do like it as a transition shade. So I'm just going to grab any big fluffy brush. This is a really old Smashbox brush. This is in the shade, or in the shade, this is a Smashbox number 10 brush. And I'm just going to dip. And I just want to show you guys, like, when I mean dip, I mean like that's enough. And then brush off the excess and then go in with your eyeshadow. What have you guys been up to lately? I have just been busy with work. Beginning of the year is always crazy, but I mean beginning of the school year, but it's going pretty well so far, I think. I feel proud of myself for actually like putting up content on my channel, because last year, in the beginning of the year, I didn't film videos at all, so I'm like trying to keep up with it a little bit more this year. Okay, so as you can see already from this eye, like that blended out so easy. The mattes in these palettes are crazy good. I mean, I don't know about the other palettes because this is the only Natasha Denona palette that I've tried, but this is pretty amazing. And I don't think that people are particularly in love with her mattes. I don't know, I could be wrong. I just always hear people talk about her shimmer shades, but these mattes are like really good. I did hear that she may have improved the formula on her mattes more recently, so maybe that's what it is, but I mean, I approve. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of a smaller blending brush. This is a MAC 217. You can see it's smaller, but it's still a blending brush. This is like an amazing brush for just blowing out color in your crease. So I'm going to take this shade right here, tap off the excess, and then add that to my crease. Just not quite as high as the other shade. It's so easy, and I'm not even like a pro at eye makeup, but if I feel like these are easy, I think everybody would think that they're easy. I think the key with these is just like less is more. You really do not want to pack color onto your brush. You really want to get like the smallest amount and then work with that to blend out. And then if you really need more, which you probably won't, then go back in and pick up more with your brush, tap off the excess, and blend out again. See, like even on this eye, like I feel like I put too much eyeshadow on the brush, and so you can see how much more intense this one is than this side. So I'm just going to continue to blend that out until the eyes become a little bit more even with pigment. One thing with this palette is that you do have to use your finger with the shimmers. At least that's what I've noticed. I've tried it MAC 242. Any sort of flat synthetic brush does not pick up the product very well. So I would suggest using your ring finger and then just kind of patting it on your eye. Actually, not even patting it, but just kind of like almost like you would a swatch, like just kind of smoothing it over your eyelids. So I don't know, that's just how I have found that they work the best, but you can see how much pigment actually comes up on your finger. Like what? That's so pretty. So that's what the color looks like when it's smoothed over your eyelid. I will say that these, although they're very pigmented and they're very shimmery, they don't make your eyelids look really old. Sometimes when I use really shimmery shadows, it just makes my eyelids look very crepey and almost wrinkly, but I do feel like these smooth over the eyelid really, really nicely. So now that I have that in there, I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of this Amara color, which is like more of a reddish brown, into the crease just to kind of blend those two tones together. And for that, I am going to use this MAC 221 brush. This is much slimmer, and it's a really great crease brush for when you want something pretty precise in the crease. My battery's dying, so I think that I'll show you guys one eye, and then I'll just do the other eye off camera, even though I've already started it. That's what I have so far. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this Magnolia color. Now this is one of those like kind of, I forget what she calls it, but it's basically more like a glitter. So for this one, I am just going to take a little bit on my middle finger, and then I'm just going to put that into the center of the eye. And then just kind of blend out those edges. And then for the underneath part of my lid, I guess I'll just take this brush right here. This is a MAC 239. I love this brush for the lower lash line. And I will take a little bit of this shade right here, tap off the excess, and then just run that on the lower lash line. A little bit of this red color too, and run that along my lower lash line. And then just kind of connect the outer view with that lower lash line. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on eyeliner and some mascara and do my other eye, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so this is the look that I came up with. I didn't use lashes or anything because I didn't want to cover up what the eyeshadow is actually doing, you know what I mean? If I had like super thick lashes, you wouldn't be able to see anything. So this is the look, and I'm kind of in love with it. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not a professional. I'm not even, like I said, really great at eyeshadow, but I do feel like these shadows are pretty easy to work with. One of the things that I think is the most difficult about eyeshadow is looking at a palette and knowing which colors go together. But for some reason, when I look at this shadow palette, I just kind of know, like, and any of these colors can go together. Like, I would never particularly use like an orangey duochrome shade with purple. You know what I mean? But somehow it just kind of works. I think that all of these shades, no matter what you did together, I feel like could all work together very well. So I really like the look. And like I said, I'm not a professional. It's not going to look perfect because I am not a makeup artist, but I do like how it turned out. I mean, like, I just think it looks pretty cool. Okay, so those were all the swatches. Like I said, the shimmers are meant to be used with your finger, and so that's why I chose not to do brush swatches. However, I do think that this is an excellent palette, and I also want to mention too that Natasha Denona had actually organize these so that these could be used to make very simple basic looks if you were unsure of what colors you should or could mix to make an eye look. So they're done in columns. So this column could be used together as a 3 shadow look, this column, and so on and so forth. So if you were confused about which shadows to use, that could kind of help you out a little bit, but I just do it my own way. But I hope you guys found this review helpful. I would 100% recommend this if you're looking to spend a little bit more money on an eyeshadow palette, or if you've just been drawn to these colors and if it's something within your budget. I know that they're expensive, but if you're looking to treat yourself, then I would say that this is an awesome palette. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.